In this video, we see some very basic but important to Power Automate flows. They have two scenarios in PA, one where you have a small approval flow which needs less maintenance, second where you have a very long flow. It is always a good practice to name your flows with a meaningful name. In cases you have a long flow and you would need to split the flows further into 2 or 3 flows, the naming convention is really helpful. In addition to it is always advised to add comments to actions in the flow. It maintains the sanity of the flow and helps determine the actual reason for adding that action in the first place. Sometimes when you have a very long flow and have too many similar actions, it is always good to group this kind of action using scope. You have a set of actions that are bound to perform one task. We all know the limitations of using a number of actions in a flow. A large flows to avoid exceeding this limit use expressions. It is always a good idea to know if your flow has run successfully or not. You can make use of scope action to handle exceptions. There is a Power Automate flow template for you to get started with it. In this video, we discuss the process of posting scheduled messages in Microsoft Teams using Power Automate. Create a schedule. Click and select Automated from blank as flow type to recurrent. Set interval to 1 day and start time to 9 a.m. Send a messages every week. I selected interval as 1 and frequency as week. Select the time zone 1 to send the message to start time. Set up a Microsoft Teams connection in PA. Save your flow and test. If your flow runs successfully, you will receive the message in your Teams. Select post a message in a chat or chat is the. Once select the action, you will get the post as an option. Flowbot where you can make PA to send your message. User where you can use the connection from which account you want to send the message. PA flow to post scheduled message in Microsoft Teams. You have to select the channel and group in which you want to send the message. PA flow to post scheduled message in Microsoft Teams. Select the team and select the channel. Now write your subject and the message you want to share. In this video, where you need to pull items from SharePoint list with filter of specific columns not empty and get items action, we need to provide filters in ODATA query. Now we will see which options won't work and what is the correct way to write filter parameter to check not null fields. Let's see what are the options which don't work. Using null expression, this won't work in ODATA filter query parameter. First we need to log in to make.powerautomate.com. Create a cloud flow. Select the manually trigger solution. Column name not null. Simply writing column name operator and null will work correctly. Try it. If it still fails, try to close the flow, open again and run it. It should work. In this video, on the Power Platform, we occasionally need to join a few arrays or objects. The Power Automate union function can be used in these situations. Examples of this behavior were given using Create an instant cloud flow and provide the trigger as manually start a flow, then select create as seen in the figure below. Next add initialize variable and enter give the name, type as array and give the values as per your requirement. Next add a parallel brand by clicking plus and take another initialize variable and fill the name, type and value based on your requirements. Next add the compose action. Now give the below formula in the expression to union the person and car variables. Union variables person, variables car. Now save and test the flow. Flow runs successfully. In this video, the Power Automate, we occasionally have to repeat some actions until a condition is satisfied. In these situations, we use the do until function as an example. In this case, the counter number will be to initialize a variable. We will now add an additional action. Then select initialize a variable under plus new stage. Next, we will take do until and add the below condition. It will proceed in accordance with our condition until the variable equals 4. The combine action will be added inside the do until action and will display the variable value. Add an action compose and click. The action will then be added, increasing the variable by the given value. Click on increment variable under add an action. Specify the variable's name and its incrementing value. The do until loop will continue until the counter value equals 4 after saving, testing, and running the flow.